Shalom, shalom. This brother Kapaya Yaf with a quick lesson, a quick hit the button lesson, and a slacky for the noise in the background. Let me cut this TV down a little bit. I was listening to Mahaloya on this particular subject here. Let me get to the title. It says the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely die, right? So that's his lesson. This is by, like I said, a Mahaloya. His page is GMS KC Prophets. Please subscribe and get edified. And I just wanted to, there's a topic in just about everything that you hear, just by, listening to the brothers, you know. And, a lot of time I listen, to get edified, number one. But there's certain things that catch my ear and I say, man, that's a lesson right there, right? So I'm going to let this here play and then I'm going to give you the title of what I'm about to go in. So this is just maybe about 4 or 5 seconds. So check this out.
So true, we need to get back under biblical authority. Yep, if we got back under biblical authority, which we will when Yahweh Shah returns, shit, our head have been cut off.
That's it right there. Let me go back to you listen to it again.
So true, we need to get back under biblical authority. Yep, if we got back under biblical authority, which we will when Yahweh Shah returns, shit, our head have been cut off.
So there you have it. If we was under biblical authority, let me go back. Let us pause it right there. If we go back right now to biblical authority, a lot of these men and women will be out of here. No ifs, ands, or but. A lot of these men and women, they choose to be in the hands of the living power. That's, give me 1 second. Go to Hebrews. Ten and 31. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And a lot of our people choose to be wicked. They choose to not hear this word. So when he brings destruction, stress, death, he's going to laugh at your calamity. Proverbs 1 and 26. Said, I will laugh at your calamity. I will mark when your fear come. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction come as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come upon you, then shall you call upon me, but I would not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. And the famine of the word is around the corner. Heavenly Father gonna put the spirit of reminisce. Yeah, I remember when I was walking on Main Street and I saw, this particular guy, preaching the word, but I walked past him. I disregard what all that he said. Or I saw a group of young men preaching the word and they were calling on Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Chai, but I kept it pushing. I laughed at them because they had this type of robe out here in 90-degree weather. So, biblical time, when Moses was dealing with the Heavenly Father and the children of Israel, they had Moses to deal with deal with Yahweh because they was afraid. And Yahweh gave Moses the laws to go by so that we can, so that we can have a guideline of how to operate in the earth. A man, he's going to operate this way, and a woman, she's going to operate this way. Ain't going to be no man on man, ain't going to be no woman on woman, ain't going to be eating pork, crab, seafood, child talking back to their mother and father, women dealing with a man and she got a husband at home, vice versa, a man dealing with a woman and she got a husband and he know it. We gonna, if we were back in those times, going back, so like it, let me get back to where I was. Go to the comment board. So like it, hold on. It says here, so true. We need to go back under biblical authority. Right now, we're under Esau authority, and he is very much so contrary to these scriptures. He don't want you to live righteously. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to, I might be, is it Isaiah 29 and 16? Yeah. So we're living under Esau rulership, right? It says here, Isaiah 29:16, surely you're turner of things upside down, keeping our children from the truth and giving us a false truth, telling us that the way we we can live the way we want to live, the YOLO spirit. Esau, he's against the truth, and he got a lot of our people, that's that's believing that because our people have been indoctrinated since slavery. But the Heavenly Father had woken up a chosen few that he coming back, and the rest of you 2/3, you know, due to he don't want you, point blank period. Because if you are not doing what the Lord ordained you to do, he didn't want you, point blank period. You're not out there on the highway and byway. You're not doing a lesson. You're not reading. You're not studying. You're not focusing on Yahweh Bashim Shah daily. You focus on Jesus Christ. You focusing on what your grandma, your grandpa, your mom and daddy told you about the Bible with no understanding. Esau have turned you upside down from getting this understanding. You're not going to get it because the Heavenly Father didn't want you to get it. So if we truly went back to the Bible, a lot of men and women will be destroyed. They've been gone because they followed the ways of the true devil, Esau, Edom. It says that surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the part of clay, for shall the work say unto him that made it, he made me not. You have a lot of our people going along to get along with the transgender, with the transformer, situation. You got a lot of our people that are ABC 1, 2, 3, broken wrists, man and woman, and then you have you have straight, heterosexual men and women, they are, cool with it, they will go along with it, they brother, they sister, is in their lifestyle, they support them. If we go back to a biblical time, you'll be put to, DEATH, just like them. You know, you got to be careful on what we say on these, platforms. Because that Bill C9 is coming down here. You know, and scripture such as like what is it? Romans 1, and I want to say it would probably start at 24 if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. 24 on down is talking about pretty much same sex you know marriages and stuff like that. Leviticus. Let's go there because these here are about to get terminated, right? Leviticus 18 and what is it? 22 and 20 and 13. These scriptures are going to be banned to give people that live this lifestyle more freedom. To be more out there because they are out there. They're out there more than ever before. But if the days of Moses was here, a lot of men and women will be DEATH. DESTROY. So yes, you know, we need the days, those biblical days, to come back soon as hell. And those days are going to come back when Yahushua come. Oh yeah, those days are going to come back when we, receive those celestial bodies, because we're going to be perfect in the law. We're not going to be corrupt in the mind. Our body is not going to be, this cardinal flesh. Our body is going to be, superhuman, super perfection. Our body going to be like the angel. We're not going to be corrupt. We're going to be incorrupt. You know? So, yeah, this right here was what's going on now? Let me get back to this again. So, when I saw this right here, we need that biblical authority back, and we will in the kingdom. Most definitely that, because we need new management. I'm dead serious. We need new management. You know, see, a lot of people, they take this word as a joke. The Heavenly Father said this right here, and where is that? I think it's Proverb 8. Let's see something right quick. Yeah, 33. Well, hold on, let me. 32. We'll read a Proverbs 8 and 32. And it said, "Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways, A lot of our people, this woman that got on stage and Chris Brown, was humping her for a good while, and she have the nerve to say, "Well, my husband let me have my moment." That's spiritual fornication. That's spiritual adultery there. You carrying on a lustful act, and you married, and Chris Brown, and also who the other guy, Usher. The Heavenly Father got something in store for y'all two niggas, because y'all be knowing that these girls that come on stage, they got a man, and you don't fucking care. Neither one of y'all don't even ask, do you have a husband or a boyfriend or whatever. At least give them the opportunity to sit up there and lie to you. But you don't do that. You see a fine woman with a big ass, pretty face, thick is all outdoors or whatever, then you just run. Don't even bother asking. See, right now, things are looking pretty good for you, both of you. But you gonna come down off that high horse. The Heavenly Father, He can take all that you got away from you. He can make, like Habakkuk, I think it's Habakkuk 1:6. It's like, yeah, I'm coming back to the proverb. Uh, Habakkuk, probably not Habakkuk, but hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, this here, 1:6 says it right here. Ye have, and this is Hagar. I guess he a Hagar. If I pronounced it wrong, please forgive me. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is no warm. And he that earns wages, but to put into a bag with holes. See, Heavenly Father, He can bless you all that money, and then He can take it away. It's almost like you get your money, and it, go into your checking account, and then you got your accountant and other people taken from you. And that can very well happen. Very well happen. Let me go back to Proverbs uh, 8:32, starting back 32 again. It said, "Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways, His commandments, His laws and commandments," which is in what? The Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. Then this guy said this right here. So true, we need to go back under biblical authority, which is, pretty much the Torah, the Old Testament. We pretty much going back to the Bible. Going back to the Bible, going back to the ways of Yahweh Bashem Shah, which is the Bible, His Word. "33, hear instruction." The Bible has a lot of instruction. "And be wise, and refuse it not." A lot of our people, they refuse this word. But they refuse, these women refuse to be submissive to their husband and to be with one man. A lot of these men, they refuse to not sit with other men, women. They refuse not to do that. They say, "Well, your bitch, she's sitting with me. Get on her." You know, or they know that she have a man. They still dealing with her. Boy, that's some cold ass shit. Covetousness. The Lord is really going to put some belt to ass on you 2/3 niggas. The whole tribe. of Israel that live like this, that act like this. You're gonna get, you're gonna get payback for this. 34. Blessed is the man that hears me. Who are those men? The men that's striving the best way they know how through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai to stay on the right hand side of Yahweh, you know. And we want Yahweh Bashim Shai to protect us and guide us, and keep us from the wrath of him. We don't want to be in his hand. We want to be in his bosom. When something is in your bosom, you protecting it. It's almost like picking up a bag of groceries. You got, goods, canned goods. You got eggs. You got, bread or whatever, and you don't want that stuff to fall. So you get in, you put it up to your bosom. But when it says in Hebrew 10:31, it's a fearful thing to be in the hands of the living Father. Those hands, he just like a boxer, he putting hands on your ass. He beating your ass, Or he got a belt in his hand and he putting belt to ass, putting belt to back and face and everywhere else on your body. Your hands are used for, a lot of things, and use them as a weapon is one, and he's coming with that wrath with his hand. Uh, 33 again. Blessed is the man that hears me, watches daily at my gate, and waiting at the post of my door. So I hope I don't know. Okay, I thought I read something else, or or didn't read something. But yeah, I'm gonna end it right here. Because our people, they love. No, Salaki. Let me keep on reading. Hold on. 35. For who findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me don't want to go back to the biblical authority. They love Esau way of life. But he that sinned against me wrong his own soul. All they that hate me love death. So death is coming your way. Usher, Chris Brown, that woman, all women that's getting up on the stage. You got a man at home or there in the concert, and you grinding with another man just because he's a singer, a pop star, movie star, ball player. I don't give a damn. You disrespecting your man, and you showing the world your sexuality. That's supposed to be between you and your husband. In the bedroom, not on stage. And it's all around the world because people are carrying cell phone and they posting it. Now, you are the whore of the whore of the universe, because it's going everywhere. If they got people in space right now, and the Wi-Fi, they got some hellified Wi-Fi up there. Your image is going up there too. Just, boy, I'm telling you. Well, I'm gonna go back to finish looking at this video here, and I'm just going to end it right here. Shalom.